Africa Science Dialogue, closing the gap between science and society.
Hello, this is the Africa Science Dialogue. Welcome to yet another episode. I'm here with Dr. Barbara Zawedde, who is the Principal Technology Promotion Officer at the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, in Uganda. She's been involved in development of the Uganda's biosafety system since 2003. That means she's been here since 22 years ago.
Yeah.
She has a PhD in plant breeding, genetics and biotechnology with a doctoral specialization in environmental science and policy. Among so many other things that she does, she has been the chairperson of the NARO Institutional Biosafety Committee since 2019 to date.
Yes.
Dr. Zawedde.
Yes.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me.
We are very, very honored to have you here, and especially because you are a science communicator yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's something you've done over time.
Yes.
So probably I will actually even start there. How easy or difficult is it to communicate science?
Well, I think let me start by saying that while I trained as a plant scientist with a specialization in biotechnology and biosafety,
Mm-hmm.
I chose to do science communication because I saw there was a gap. We were doing a lot of work in the labs. We were doing a lot of work in the fields, but there was no one to talk for the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose to do a side specialization in science communication because I knew as scientists we find it very difficult to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to your question, how easy is it? It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Especially when you're a scientist.
Uh-huh.
Because as a scientist, we are taught to state our facts.
Okay.
We are taught to say it as it is. But in many cases, as it is not interesting to the public.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way you need to speak to the emotions of the public for them to appreciate the science, and in many cases we don't find it very easy as scientists.
In that way, won't you be distorting facts? Because you, as a scientist, you're speaking facts. If now you want to appeal to emotions, doesn't that mean distortion?
Not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get the experience and you know exactly how to present the facts in a way that is relevant to the public or to any of your stakeholders, because again, it's going to depend on who you're talking to. If I'm talking to a scientist, the way I'll present my facts will be different from if I'm talking to a farmer or to a consumer.
Okay.
And that is where most of us as scientists, we get it wrong. We always think we are talking to fellow scientists, and yet they are the least audience in many cases.
So let's not assume, I don't want to assume the listener, the person watching knows exactly what NARO is or what your role is at NARO. So what do you do at NARO?
All right, so NARO is the National Agriculture Research Organization, and it is a government agency that is responsible for conducting research in the whole of the country. And as NARO, we have up to 16 institutes spread around the country with the purpose of capturing the needs of the people we work for, and then we conduct research to respond to their needs. So I am the Principal Technology Promotion Officer, and I am based at the headquarters of NARO, the NARO Secretariat, which is based in Entebbe. And I work in the Directorate of Agriculture Technology Promotion. And what we do is when the scientists conduct the research and they come up with the products and services to take to the end users, our directorate is then responsible for ensuring that we deliver them to the end users, whoever they are, although the primary one is the farmer. And so we have to break down the science, we have to package it, both in information form and in product form, to suit the farmer or any other clientele that we have. Yes.
Now, I was thinking as you're saying that, now seeing as NARO, you said it's a parastatal, seeing as it's a parastatal and you have to go and talk to the farmer in a language they understand about a new technology, probably they don't know much understand. Does political affiliation of the people you're talking to or political temperatures affect your work in such a way that people just think, well, all right, they're promoting this because, the government, I don't support this regime, whatever. Do people usually have that kind of resistance just because of their political feelings at the moment?
Right now, I would say that as Uganda, we have not really brought political relations in what government is promoting. Usually what is going to matter the most is who is delivering the product or the information to me, who has tried it out, and how has it worked for them. So to us, the most important thing which we do again is to identify who are going to be our champions. Who do we first give these technologies to try them out so that then they can help with the promotion. And when we are doing this, we normally avoid bringing the issue of politics in all this. What we do is more to work with the local governments, and the local governments are sort of like balanced out and relatable to our end users. Yeah.
When you started out 22 years ago, that's a long time ago.
I know. Probably you were not born or born and too early.
No, I was a big boy. But when you started out in 2003, I don't think there was social media. And now, well, if there were probably just snippets of, I don't know.
Very little of it.
But right now we have information flying all about. Within that time, definitely with the social media, the anti-scientists, the pseudo-scientists have come up, a lot of misinformation, commercial activists, everything.
Yeah.
How difficult was it back then, dealing with new technology, with problems facing new technologies going to the people versus now?
In my opinion, I think science communication was much easier then than it is now. Because then we had particular channels of communications that we knew. We would know, if I want to take this message to this community, I'm going to use religious leaders. And I'm going to target the religious leaders, engage with them, make them appreciate or help them to see what I'm talking about, or give them the product to test it out on their farm, probably near the church or something, and people will come and learn. But now with the social media, even as you're thinking about it, someone is communicating it. You haven't yet packaged it very well, and it's already going out. So I feel like you're always running after the uncooked information that has gone ahead of you, and that makes information much difficult, because as communicators we are told that you have to package your message based on the audience you're taking it to. But now a message packaged for a scientist ends up in the hands of the farmer, and the farmer doesn't know what to do with it, but because it has come on the social media, it's there for him. And his perception and understanding of this may not be the same as the scientist who it was meant for. So with all the social media, scientists and communicators have to think smarter at how to pace with the technology.
I feel like because we've gotten to a point where everybody is thinking, well, misinformation and disinformation are really huge, they're behemoths. I feel like, and you can correct me because I wasn't there in 2003, I feel like the communicators who were there didn't realize the change coming that fast, and they sat still for probably a little too long in the comfort zone until it was impossible to handle. Is it so?
I don't think it is about us sitting and being led to the table. It's more about the way we communicate and the way the misinformation is communicated. In many cases, the misinformation is so sensational, that I'll be honest, even I, as a scientist or as a communicator, sometimes I feel like, supposing I was in the receiver's shoes, would I believe the alternative message? And I'll be honest with you, at that point, you sort of like even lose the ability to react because the sensationalism of the message that has come before you is not even matched. You can't match it. And so sometimes you choose, or you make a decision that, well, let me let this calm down, then I'll come in with the facts. Because trying then to bring your facts with this hot message is just going to create a bomb. It will actually become a bomb in the process. So you let it simmer and then you come in. Yeah.
What is this that misinformers have that makes the misinformation very exciting?
I think in many cases, they don't have anything to lose. And so, or they are ready for whatever is coming to them if they are found out to be misinforming people. So they will say anything. But as a communicator, especially for a government agency or as a scientist, you want to maintain your credibility. And in many cases, in trying to do that, we do not present our messages in a way that makes it interesting enough for the media to pick up, for the social influencers to pick up, or even for our end users to take in and quickly use. And I think that's where now we really need to work hard to think through how do we also make our messages as attractive as those of the people who are misinforming. And I think that's where the Gen Zs come in. You need to help us to do that because, yeah, you think without the box, like someone said yesterday. Yeah.
When that praise is dished, I put myself in the Gen Z box, although I'm a little outside that sometimes. So since 2003, of course, there has been a lot of changes in the biosafety you have seen formed since you started working on this in 2003.
So in terms of the...
Like, do you have like the Biosafety Authority? What were laws that have been, policies that have been enacted since?
So yeah, since 2003, a lot has changed because in various parts of the Africa, legislation has come up. And a lot of this we have to appreciate is because of willingness of the political systems, and came a lot of regulations that have allowed African countries to be able to test some of the technologies. We have seen a lot of capacity being developed for the scientists, local scientists, to work with the international partners to do something that is really relevant for us as Africa.
Okay.
And we have, with the coming of these products, we have also been able to get regulators then to develop the capacity to oversee the research happening and also to regulate what is going into the environment. We have seen a lot of capacity also being developed of the end users, the people who are going to be using these technologies. But what we are not seeing a lot of, and what is a little frustrating for me as a person who has been doing this for the last 22 years, is we are not seeing the products coming out into the market, especially the products that have been developed by the local Africans, that we believe if these come to the market, they would really help the narrative. Because if we have, for example, the cassava going to the fields, to the farmers, and the farmers are seeing the diseases going no longer a problem. If we see the potatoes, if we see so many other products, I think it will really help us as communicators and as regulators that we need around these products, because we believe that some of these products, we also have bananas, and we have the bananas that have enhanced nutrition. And so if we can now show that the bananas can contribute to reduction in malnutrition, the cassava can help to manage food security and all these other opportunities, I think that will help with the narrative. Yeah.
There's a comment I heard you make the other day about how the private sector is so usually like hands-on and determined to stand for what they believe, I think probably I could say is profitable to them.
Yes.
Definitely. What do you think is the, what do you think is the missing link between these whole groups of people who've mentioned, or in this these whole groups of people who've mentioned, or in this whole chain whereby scientists are going doing the research, products are being developed, the
private sector, and also most of it is public good. So there is not a lot of profit that comes from such outputs, and I think that's where again someone was talking about, the investment. I remember, I think it was a journalist who said, invest in communication. So because this is not something that is going to bring in a profit or something, even the investment put in it to communicate and market is less than what the private sector does. So we need to find a way of, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how we are going to do it right. But I think maybe we need to see how we interest private sector to take on some of these products and if they see that it makes financial sense, they can help us with this narrative again.
Yeah, because I think that will be the biggest, I don't know if to call it incentive.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at a possible profit, possible loss. Now to you personally, you got interested in science at age 10, I read somewhere. And that was a very early age. Did you expect that the kind of science you were going to do was anything like you're doing today?
No. When I started as a young girl, I was looking at my auntie who was a medical doctor. So my expectation was, I'm going to go through the same schools she has gone through and I'll end up a medical doctor. And my initiative was, she used to travel a lot, so I wanted to travel. But it didn't work out exactly like that.
But you travel a lot.
But I ended up traveling a lot, and I ended up being a doctor, but not a medical doctor. But at that point, all I knew was, I'll be injecting people. But now, as I go to university, I started to see these developments in technology, biotechnology coming up, starting with tissue culture. I actually did my special project at undergrad.
You have a lot of ladies in your course, or
no? Okay, so my class at the university had more ladies than, but we did not have many female scientists to emulate.
Okay.
And we tried, I at least tried to emulate my boss, Dr. Teresa Sengova. She was actually what was the title? She was the head of the program for biosafety systems East Africa for some time. And so she's also the one who really then motivated me to follow the regulatory pathway. But we didn't have very many. By then we did not have anyone who was doing molecular. Our lecturers were mostly male. So so I think this generation is lucky. They have more of us to look at and to learn from.
Yes.
And I believe that for them they have even a lot more opportunities. And children, I have 4 girls. I am always telling them I expect a lot greater from them than what they are saying of me.
Okay.
So I encourage the girls to join STEM. And don't just join STEM. Make it the novel STEM, that will stand out from the crowd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I see we're still talking about women in STEM, and we talk about how sometimes they get outnumbered. We've had this discussion about how in some schools it is insisted upon that the science subjects are boys' subjects, and you know, yeah, we've gone through systems where being beaten by a girl in any subject is okay, as long as science, no girl should be. So I'm thinking, do you feel like these girls end up getting equal opportunities or enough opportunities in STEM at the end?
I think right now, the girls have a lot of opportunities, and from my experience visiting my children's schools, I have seen that the girls are actually shining more than the boys, to the level that now there is a male affirmative action happening in Uganda. So girls no longer have any excuse opportunities.
Yes.
It is up to them to make the decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not when they can see you here and know that you actually made it, and you're 4 girls who should actually do better than you're doing.
Yes.
Do you feel like now as a regulator, first let me go to this question first. Where do regulators how are they able to beat a conflict of interest where you're both a regulator and you steal for product?
So as a regulator, I think when you make the choice to be a regulator, you have to make the choice to always look out for the worst case scenario.
Okay.
And for me, I'll tell you, I am always telling the scientists in NARO that my purpose here is to think about what can go wrong and help you to make sure that you prepare for it not to go wrong. Because if I focus on the positive, I'm not helping you prepare for any incident, to prepare for a contingency plan, and to make sure that you're protected when the product goes out there. So as a regulator, I have to always look for what can go wrong. Yes. And then help you to prepare so that it doesn't go wrong. Or God forbid if it does, you are ready to handle it and protect yourself and the users of the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, is there anything that you feel that you will probably want to tell? We have spoken a lot to the girls at this point, but generally want to talk about advising early career scientists and those probably who feel like there are not enough opportunities and who will probably want to sit where you sit today.
All right. So my advice to the young scientists is, first, skill yourself to communicate. Because if you're going to market your products, if you're going to market yourself, you need to be a good communicator. Tap into the digital platforms that exist. Many people are surprised. I'm on Twitter and I'm on TikTok.
I saw that.
Yes. So they need to get in that space, make themselves visible, and again, identify novel projects for them to stand out from the crowd. That's my advice to them.
Okay.
Yes.
And something I didn't say before is that Dr. Zawedde coordinated the Uganda Biosciences Information Center, which was a critical science communication initiative during the biosafety legislation development process in her country, Uganda. And she has also supported processes of biosafety for policy formulation and development of national guidelines for biosafety compliance. Very long CV. If you're in Kenya, we will call you Mama Girls. That's Mother of Girls. We have a lady who we call Mama Boys because of the affirmative action for boys, as you're saying. But yes, I think it's a good thing for girls to look at you and see somebody who has gone through the paces and gotten to where she is.
Thank you.
And I hope we continue having this conversation so we can actually explore other areas and try to becoming scientists like one here so that we have some grounding in the future. Thank you very much, Dr. Zawedde, for coming onto our podcast today.
Thank you.
Yes, that was Dr. Zawedde from Uganda talking to us. And as you can hear, girls, there's a niche. There's a very, very big gap. You always have your position.